Welcome back, Keulers. There's a storm of transfer activity swirling around Camp Nou, and we've got every angle covered for you today. To start things off, a new report has revealed that 4 Barcelona defenders are now considered untouchable by Hansi Flick, and it could spell the end for ANDREAS CHRISTENSEN, who may be on his way out this summer. Meanwhile, PSG coach Luis Enrique is targeting Fermin Lopez, seeing the 22-year-old as a perfect fit for his midfield at Parc des Princes. Could Barça really sell one of their most exciting young talents? And on the attacking front, things aren't looking much better. After missing out on NICO WILLIAMS, Barça are struggling to secure a new left winger, with LUIS DÍAZ, Marcus Rashford and ADEMOLA LOOKMAN all linked, but every deal coming with complications. Even worse, Barcelona's pursuit of Lookman is now tangled in tensions surrounding Marc-André ter Stegen, whose agency also represents the Nigerian star. Let's unpack everything, from the defenders staying to the stars possibly leaving. An insight into the defensive pecking order in La Liga champions Barcelona's squad at present has on Thursday been forthcoming online. The info comes courtesy of Diario Sport, and points towards one member of the Blaugrana's central defensive ranks as being the odd man out when it comes to next season. In the eyes of Hansi Flick and co., the following quartet are considered untouchable: Inigo Martinez, Ronald Araujo, Pau Cubarsí and somewhat surprisingly Eric Garcia. With Jules Kounde also more than capable of slotting into a central role, as much leaves ANDREAS CHRISTENSEN in something of a precarious situation. The Dane has just 1 year left on his contract at the Camp Nou, with his intention as of now, to see as much out before departing as a free agent. Barcelona, though, are keen to free up space on the club's bloated wage bill, with Christensen therefore considered an absolute candidate to leave. This summer transfer window continues to be an opportunity for FC Barcelona to reinforce the squad. Despite already having a competitive group of players at their disposal, the club wishes to reinvest. However, Barcelona need to be picky with their targets. After all, the club recently struggled with the operation concerning NICO WILLIAMS and Athletic Club. Despite weeks of links and contacts, the player ultimately ended up renewing his contract and slipping away from Barcelona. Luis Enrique wants Fermin Lopez at PSG. At the same time, however, it seems now that Barça is giving priority to offloading players as well. As a result of this, there might even be some delays before the Catalan giants can ultimately sign a new winger. Various reports have recently even suggested that certain names might already be on the club's shortlist to ensure a high-value sale this summer. Interestingly, one of those names has now reportedly attracted a new suitor. According to Fishages, 22-year-old Spanish midfielder Fermin Lopez has now attracted the interest of Paris Saint-Germain coach Luis Enrique. For the Spanish coach, Lopez is a player who has the kind of profile he wants at the club. Reportedly, the former Barcelona coach has now made the Spaniard a very clear transfer target for the club. Following an incredibly successful season with PSG, one that could still get even better, he believes that the young midfielder could reinforce the squad even more for next season. Other clubs want the Barcelona midfielder as well. With his creativity, goals, and tenacity, Lopez is the kind of profile that would appeal to Enrique, and this versatility and ability to make a difference is reportedly the main reason for this interest. After all, following a season in which he scored 8 goals and provided 10 assists, it is no secret that Fermin Lopez is a dynamic asset. However, the reports suggest that Barcelona have an asking price of around €80 million for the player, and PSG are aware of it. At the same time, the Catalan giants believe a sale of that magnitude would not just open up space in the squad but give the club some significant funds to reallocate then. Still, PSG are far from the only team that could reportedly be interesting in the 22-year-old midfielder. Previously, even German giants Bayern Munich have been linked to the Barcelona midfielder, and Premier League side Liverpool is reportedly preparing an offer as well. Barcelona are working towards signing a new left winger, but their efforts have not been very successful so far. NICO WILLIAMS had been very close to joining before deciding to sign a new contract with Athletic Club instead, while efforts to sign an alternative have not progressed as hoped. Williams' snub has left Barcelona considering a number of options, with Liverpool's Luis Díaz being the club's preferred target. But at this stage, Bayern Munich are more likely to sign him, which means that Marcus Rashford, who could be signed on loan from Manchester United, may be a more viable candidate. Alongside Díaz and Rashford, Ademola Lookman is another player that Barcelona are considering. The Nigeria international has been strongly linked with leaving Atlanta this summer, and Atletico Madrid are also among the clubs to be considering a move for him in the coming weeks. A deal for Lookman could be favorable for Barcelona, with Sport reporting that Atlanta are prepared to accept less than €50 million. However, they also may that the chances of an agreement being struck with the player himself is slim, given that relations are tense between the Catalan club and the 27-year-old's representatives. Lookman has same representatives as Marc-Andre ter Stegen. The problem comes from Barcelona's strained tensions with Marc-Andre ter Stegen, whom they want to sell this summer because he is no longer counted on as the club's starting goalkeeper. Although there has been no official communication between the two parties, stories via the media have led to concerns. Ter Stegen and Lookman are represented by the same agency, and because of this, Barcelona are not overly confident of being able to sign the latter. They have information on his availability, but for now, an official move has not been made, and one may not occur until an outcome has been reached with the Germany international. As Barcelona's preseason approaches, it's clear that big decisions are being made behind the scenes, and not all of them are easy. With Christensen's future hanging in the balance, Hansi Flick is drawing a hard line on who stays and who goes in defense. The interest in Fermin Lopez from PSG and Bayern proves how valuable he's become, but Barca might have to choose between talent and financial necessity. Meanwhile, winger options like Díaz and RASHFORD remain difficult to land, and Lookman's deal is blocked by deeper issues involving the club's strained relationship with ter Stegen's agency. The road ahead is bumpy, but it's also full of opportunity. If Barcelona can balance the books and make smart moves, this could still be a transformative summer. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell to stay on top of every twist in this transfer window. Welcome back to the channel, Coolers. A new season is approaching fast, and Barcelona is buzzing with preparation, pressure, and promise under new coach Hansi Flick. Training is about to resume, but major decisions still hang in the air, especially when it comes to Barcelona's goalkeeping dilemma. With Joan Garcia officially joining the club, and ter Stegen returning early from vacation, the battle for the #1 spot is heating up. Meanwhile, Szczęsny stays and Inaki Peña is expected to leave. But that's not all. Barca just secured the signature of Croatian wonderkid Lovro Čelfi, a signing full of long-term promise. And with Flick pushing hard for a new defensive signing, all eyes are now on potential fullback reinforcements, with Denzel Dumfries emerging as a serious target. Let's break down everything happening behind the scenes at Camp Nou right now. The current atmosphere at FC Barcelona is one of preparation and anticipation for next season. Hansi Flick expects his players to return to the club soon from their vacations, and there is no more time for rest. For Barcelona, the objective is now to focus on the preseason tour. However, there is a certain dilemma that has to be dealt with at the club as well. That particular issue has to deal with the goalkeeping situation, as there are now 3 players at the club that will be fighting for a starting position, but Barca will likely put their trust in only 2 of them. One of those players is Joan Garcia, and he seems to be the player that Barcelona wish to place their trust in. The Spaniard arrived this summer and happens to be the first and only signing for the club so far at the time of writing. Joan Garcia and ter Stegen finally coincide. The other 2 first-team goalkeepers are Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Wojciech Szczęsny, while Inaki Peña seems to be on his way out. As for Szczęsny, the player's contract was recently renewed and it seems likely that Barcelona are trusting him to be the backup to Garcia next season. That leaves 33-year-old ter Stegen in a rather complicated spot, but he still reportedly returned to the Ciutat Esportiva early this summer. There, as highlighted by Marca, he finally coincided with Joan Garcia for the first time since the Spaniard has joined Barcelona. Garcia has been working at the Barcelona facilities since Tuesday, and ter Stegen has now returned on Thursday as well. For both players, the objective is to find a starting spot in the team next season and prove to Hansi Flick that they are the ones to be relied upon. The German wants to stay at Barcelona. However, even though Garcia has been signed by the club to improve the squad's overall quality, ter Stegen will not exactly leave just like that. While his departure would be quite beneficial in terms of the salary space, the German goalkeeper seems to want to stay for now. Recent reports have suggested that while that may be the case for now, he could re-evaluate his situation in January if he gets extremely limited playing time. That would be due to the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and that tournament is something that ter Stegen does not want to miss or be a part of as anything but Germany's #1 choice between the sticks. Official: Barcelona confirmed new midfield signing this summer. La Liga champions FC Barcelona have officially strengthened their youth setup with the arrival of a new midfield talent. The club continues to invest in its future by reinforcing key positions, and this latest addition adds depth and promise to the next generation of Barca stars. This move is part of the club's broader strategy to develop talent internally, ensuring the pipeline from La Masia to the first team remains strong in the years to come. This comes amid confirmation of the arrival of Croatian starlet Lovro Čelfi. The name of youngster Čelfi emerged as a prominent one in the media chatter surrounding Barcelona earlier this week. As much came after widespread confirmation was forthcoming that the Blaugrana had earmarked the starlet as a leading transfer target with a view to next season. Čelfi, for his part, is an 18-year-old attack-minded midfielder, who has long been considered a potential star in the making in his home country of Croatia. And as alluded to above, over the last 24 hours, his move to one of European football's biggest clubs has been confirmed. As revealed in a statement across the social media platforms of Croatian outfit NK Kostasija, Čelfi has put pen to paper on terms with Barcelona. Hansi Flick pushing Barcelona for a new defensive signing, 2 players on the radar. A critical week lies ahead of Barcelona with the first team set to return to training, Hansi Flick set to return to work, and several transfer decisions that require his attestation set to make progress. In Joan Garcia, the club have already acquired the services of a difference maker and fixed one of the most critical departments in the dressing room. NICO WILLIAMS would have been the ideal second signing, but a last-minute collapse means it will no longer unfold. Now, the manager must identify the positions where he sees an urgent need for reinforcement, and Sport brings to light one such area of concern he has identified: a new fullback. As reported by the outlet, Flick sees the signing of a new fullback to be an absolute priority to improve the defensive performance. The concern, particularly, is at left back, where the manager would like a new physical and defensively sound recruit. Gerard Martin's departure, however, is seen to be the key preliminary step for the club to sign a new left back, and the player's paralyzed future leaves little space for Barcelona to pursue the signing of Alejandro Grimaldo, who was even rumored as a target. The fullback now linked with Barcelona is Inter Milan's Denzel Dumfries, a player who passed his audition for Barcelona with flying colors in their UEFA Champions League clash last season. The player has a €25 million release clause, which is very tempting. However, it has a deadline until the end of this month and must be completed in July. Dumfries, after all, is capable of playing on both sides and is a player who has impressed Flick. Barcelona must thus make a final decision on whether or not they are looking to bulk up the fullback department this summer and manage finances for the same. Time, after all, is of the essence. As pre-season begins, Barcelona's future is being shaped right now, in the training ground, in the boardroom, and in the transfer market. The arrival of Joan Garcia signals a potential changing of the guard in goal, but TER STEGEN isn't backing down without a fight. Lovro Čelfi's quiet arrival may not be headline-grabbing today, but could be a long-term masterstroke. And Hansi Flick's demand for a reliable physical fullback, possibly Dumfries, shows he's not wasting any time upgrading the defense. With financial constraints, tight deadlines, and big expectations, this summer could define Barcelona's entire season. Stay tuned for more in-depth analysis, and if you enjoyed this update, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for everything Barca, all season long.